I think the Money Guy show, my guess is it didn't go so well. So here's another clip from the Money Guy show where they kind of backtrack a little bit. They did, after they did this episode with Dave, they did another 45-minute to hour episode where they explain how we're different from Dave.
Oh.
So I'm guessing it didn't go so well the first time.
The Money Guy. I think it's important to kind of know where you fit in to this and what your philosophy. I mean, because look, if you're a person that does struggle with what we consider somewhat of the basics, meaning the discipline of not overspending, not being able to live on less than you make, and you're running up tons of credit card debt, I think that Dave will help you with the behavioral side that focuses on the debt. Now, let me pivot. If you were a maximizer, a financial mutant, if you will, I think that we offer a very unique perspective because what we will help you do is maximize your wealth building journey. And so before we
So there it was.
What?
That was it. That was it. That was their walk
So they
back.
basically didn't say anything.
No,
We're
they
different.
they said
Oh, brother.
no. They said exactly what they needed to say. It just shows you how shallow it is. Look, we didn't push back on Dave because if you're an idiot and you can't save money and you don't know what you're doing, then Dave's probably okay. And so that's why we didn't push back or say anything. But if you're intelligent and you have money, you should be listening to us. That was the entire fucking speech right there. And they did a whole 45-minute video explaining why, if you're smart, you should be watching our show. If you're stupid, watch Dave's show. And see, we weren't talking about everybody. We're just talking to people who already have money and know what they're talking about. So therefore, we're not doing anything weird, which tells me they might have gotten some kickback from somebody.
Yeah, well, their funny thing is saying that Dave's platform is great for beginners who don't know stuff.
Right.
But if you're anything more advanced than training wheels, then that's where we come in.
Right.
Right.
So they kind of walked it back and spit on him, but they did it after the fact. They wouldn't do it to his face. They waited till they were on their show to go, well, we're just better. And we weren't really talking about everybody. We're just talking to the maximizers, the financial mutants, as it were, the people that really know. We're not talking to the rest of you. Because it covers them for the whole thing. To go, oh, well, yeah, if they are talking about upper middle class people, then shit, yeah. Then what they're saying is true. If you're talking in general terms, no. A lot of what they're saying is bullshit.
Right.
So they had to narrow that so they could cover their ass. So it just shows you how shallow the whole thing was. And I love the fact that they would just jump back and walk back the whole fucking thing and chicken shit out like that. I thought that was great.
Yeah, they must have been getting some sort of comments that made them feel the need to address that.
I don't know for sure. I can speculate. I remember this when I was doing my my CFP work. It was a big scandal where it was a CFP in New York, a really wealthy guy. He got hired by McDonald's to do a budget to show that you could live off of $7.25 an hour minimum wage, which is still is $7.25 an hour. And he took the money, of course, I would, and he went to McDonald's and said, yeah, you can't. There's no city in America where you can live off $7.25 an hour. And then he did a hypothetical budget to show him, look, if you wanted to live off $7.25 an hour, this is how you do it, right? And in the hypothetical budget, it assumes that rent was a lot lower than it should have been, that you have no utilities, so you don't have water or electricity. It assumes you have no transportation costs, no cell phone costs, no medical insurance or bills, no health insurance, no life insurance, nothing else, right? And still, on that budget, you had to have 2 full-time minimum wage jobs just to make ends meet. And what happened was McDonald's took his hypothetical that he did to show them that this is stupid, and they published it and gave it to their employees and put his name on it as proof that, yes, you could live off minimum wage. And then he almost lost his license with the CFP And he got called into the board, and he explained to them, no. This was a hypothetical that I wrote, not for publication, just to show them how stupid what they were asking was. And the CFP board sued McDonald's. You can't be using our title with his name or anything like that on this bullshit thing. I'm guessing if they're CFPs and they're saying shit like that and they're on Dave Ramsey's show, it might have been that somebody at the CFP board called them and said, hey, you need to correct some of this shit. I don't care how you do it, just do it. I'm not saying that happened, but I've seen it happen a lot in the past. Where somebody...
You're saying it's possible.
I'm not saying it's plausible. I'm not saying that's what happened. But the fact that they did this show only, less than a week later, to how we differ from Dave,
right?
To go back and walk back all the shit they said on the previous show, I think that's a little fucking telling.
Yeah, to be honest, and maybe I haven't watched your show enough, but I fail to see how they're really very different from Dave. Yeah. Honestly, like it seems like they're a variation of the same thing.
They're not. They're, Dave's, Dave's koosh ball, they're spider ball. I mean, they're, I don't know how else to, he's Coke, they're Pepsi.
Right.
I mean, they're not that different.
Yeah, it's all cola.
Sprite versus Sierra Mist. It's,